Good morning. Starting off a little later than usual. Like I kind of figured it was going to get some rain. Started right before sunrise. Wasn't heavy or anything, but it was definitely freezing rain. There are little bits of snow mixed with wet on the ground right now. But it's pretty much stopped at this point, so I don't know if it's done for the day or if it's just, and it wasn't never hard. It was just like a good drizzle, but it was freezing drizzle, still up high. About 4,700 right now. I think it gets down under 4, like within 10 miles, so it's a slow go down. It kind of goes up and down up until that point. So there it will just be rain and warmer, like supposed to be 40s and 50s. That's fine. I just didn't want to be in the freezing rain first thing in the morning with that and getting wet and so forth. So waited until now. It's about 8 o'clock. Like I said, getting the day going. Last night ended so magically. That was so awesome that I remembered that shelter and was able to go there. And another gentleman named Rossetti showed up, and so it was just me and him in the shelter. Had a good time meeting him and exchanging stories about our better halves and so forth. Fun time. But when I first got there and that pony being there, and then as soon as I got there, the other pony showed up like, ooh, there's a guy here now. And then another pony showed up, ooh, look. And then all of a sudden I have 3 ponies just sitting out there looking at me. And then they come over to me as I'm sitting there blowing up my air mattress, and just, they sit at my feet or stand at my feet like they're my pets or something. They stood there for the longest time, just looking at me. One of them stood so long, just like literally a foot from me. Started falling asleep standing up. And they just hung out for a long time and came over and tried to smell my food as I was cooking it. And I just looked at the one just like I would a dog. Said, no, don't do that. And it just like turned around and walked away. It was so cute. But it was the perfect ending for a perfect day yesterday. But going to get this day started today and see what it brings as far as beauty today. Boards are a little slippery right now with that freezing rain that fell, so being extra cautious on those. Crossed a couple bridges over some water, same thing on those, a little slick. As you can see, there's still definitely some snow or sleet on the ground in areas. Some pony poo. Pony poo. Has a nice ring to it. Actually looks really nice out, even though it's cloudy. Beautiful scenery. Birds flying up in the air. Beautiful. Have come into another meadow or pasture here. This is the view around me. Beautiful mountains. Hazy from the rain. It's drizzling right now, if you can't tell, but it's not freezing. It's just regular rain, so at least above freezing. But this is the beautiful view surrounds me. Reminds me a lot of Texas in this area for some reason. Except the mountains. The mountains, those rocky ones like yesterday, remind me of Northern California. Pretty cool. I don't know if you could see this. It's quite a ways away, but right over there, there's 2 or 3 more ponies. Seen 8 of them yesterday. I feel blessed because a lot of people don't get to see them here. I mean, they're all over the place. They've been wild in this area since the 40s. You would think there would be thousands of them, and there probably are. I don't know the exact number, but I was blessed to see 8 of them, 5 in an area that seemed kind of early, and then those 3 at the shelter last night, which was just, I can't get over how awesome that was and surreal, and I felt like Snow White. They were loving some fortune. I mean, if you really want to know what they were loving, they were probably loving the fact that I was a human, and I probably had food that they could have had that would have tasted better than the dirt they were eating off the ground. I didn't give them any, for those wondering. I don't feed wild animals. But this is beautiful. It's kind of a cruisy day so far. A lot of flat areas. There's some up and some down, but just a lot of flat areas so far. There's rocks, but you can avoid a lot of those rocks when you're walking, so it's not like yesterday, man. That kind of trail really tears up the feet when you're just have to walk on rocks and uneven ground, and yeah, it kind of tears the feet up by the end of the day. So 20-mile day seems like a 30-mile day, and that day before almost went 20, and it didn't feel like I did that, even though I wasn't in the mood to be walking or anything. It's kind of funny how that works. Each day is a little different in the way it makes your body feel, but gonna keep on cruising here today in this drizzle. Probably gonna get off and go to Marion and do some resupply there. Ate a lot of food yesterday, so probably gonna do that, get a couple more meals, and then carry on. That's the plan for today. So about probably 14 or 15 more miles, and I'll be to where I'm gonna get off and go to Marion for the night at the hostel. Alrighty, let's carry on. I am loving the scenery and terrain change that's happened in Virginia so far. Seen a little bit of everything, the same kind of mountains, through Georgia, North Carolina, some height, summiting Mount Rogers yesterday, and White Top Mountain, almost close to 6,000, about 5,700. And then as soon as you come into Grayson, things start changing, and you have the yellowish grass, which is because it's, not blooming green yet. But it also makes it look kind of desert-y in Northern California. Obviously a little more than desert because you have trees and everything, but you got these short trees. It's just amazing how, oh man, when did it, Damascus was like 470, I think. So about 40 miles only into Virginia. This is a long state, almost a quarter of the trail is in Virginia. But yeah, this is, there's going to be a lot more terrain change, I'm sure. I know there's some really cool things. One of the most famous spots there is around mile marker 700, Maccabee Knob, really famous for the AT, that cliff that hangs over, which of course Fortune will get his picture taken at, and the video, so y'all could see it from up top. But it is an amazing adventure for sure. Terrain changes everywhere, but I'm really loving it in Virginia so far. I'm not going to go as far as saying this is my favorite state, because there's some epic views everywhere, and I'm just absolutely in love with no matter where I am and what I'm seeing. I see the beauty in all of it. So this is really cool, seeing these terrain changes. It's kind of flat, and it goes up and down, but a lot of flat walking through meadows so far, and I'm loving that. Walking through that cave yesterday. Okay, I'm not going to recite everything I've done, but you get the picture. Go watch the videos if you haven't. That's why I do these videos, so you can feel like you're here with me. And they're just absolutely gorgeous day yesterday, and today it's starting off the same way. Even though it's drizzling, it's just absolutely beautiful. This wilderness prairie, meadowy type of look. Whew, it's gorgeous. Where you at, little ponies? Here, little ponies. Here, little ponies. I see your poop everywhere. I know you're here somewhere. Let me see you, little ponies. Everybody on YouTube wants to see you, little ponies. Come show your beautiful manes. I'm not as crazy as you may think. I'm probably crazier. So this place here, just a big open area. There's a bear box and sign kind of describing a little bit more about it, but this is just an area called the Scales, a little place where people can tent. Over here it looks like you got a pit toilet or bathroom of some sort. Basically, you just walk in over there at that gate and then straight over, you walk through this gate. Just a little section, and I don't know, something about, I really don't have any idea, so let's go over here and look. I don't normally like to read these, but there we go. Farmers grazing cattle in these mountains use this area as a place to gather, weigh, and sell their cattle. Because the cattle weighed less after walking down the mountain, farmers quickly learned that their animals brought the best price with their high country weight. Over time, this high country exchange became known as the Scales. So there you go. That's what this place was. Pretty cool. If you like the history of things, I like it sometimes in very small doses. I'm more about the nature and the beauty myself, though. All right, leaving the Scales and continuing on. Short day today. I've got about 90 feet more of elevation and about a 1,500 foot drop. Then I'll be getting off and heading to Marion to take I would definitely consider this a Nero. Even though it's 10 miles of hiking today, I consider it a Nero. Getting off a little earlier than what I was anticipating, just because I didn't want to get into town like 3 o'clock, because I got to resupply. I can't think, sorry. I need to resupply, upload my videos. Want to get some good rest before starting off in the morning. Got to let everything dry out, because it is a rainy day for sure. And I want to eat. I want to eat 2 or 3 meals at least while I'm there. So I want to give myself enough time so I don't feel rushed. And of course, I always take that time to be able to talk to my fiance, love of my life, who I'm going to be seeing in a few days. But I always take advantage of those times in town to where I could talk to her, because out here the signals are so spotty half the time. If we're able to talk, we're on the phone and it cuts out on us. So a little frustrating, but it's part of the game, so we have to deal with it. It sucks though, because we both miss each other a lot, and hearing each other's voice definitely helps. But I'll be in town today, so we'll be able to talk a little bit more, and obviously do the other things I need to do, but not taking a zero. Not planning on taking any zeros until she comes and we meet up for a few days. It'll be great to see her again. By the time I see her, it'll be almost 6 weeks since I've seen her last, and I'm missing her like crazy. So that's part of the big plan. And that is not a loose plan. That is a written in contract. Okay, verbal contract. Meaning we're going to do that. Most every other plan I have is loose plans. Oh yeah, the day we get married, definite plan. I talk about the fact that everything's loose plans. I like to live life as it comes, but obviously there's some things in life you have to plan for, you have to be ready for. I'm not that dumb, where everything is just flighty and flaky. But I do love to live life as it comes and take the the bull by the horn, so to speak. But got a couple more, 3 more miles, I think, all descent. And then I'll be getting into town, into Marion, Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee, I'm in Virginia now. Marion, Virginia. And get this resupply day going and get back out on the trail tomorrow and hit some big numbers. And obviously, my fiance, the love of my life, is the most important thing to me. And I don't want that to sound like I was making light of that. I am very much looking forward to the day we're married and spending the rest of our lives together. Very much looking forward to that. I love you, babe. There's some real pretty ones. That black and white one, oh my goodness. Real pretty. See, they heard me calling them earlier. They're like, we're up here waiting for you, Fortune. We're up here. Look at that. 3, 4. Another one up here, another black and white one. Very pretty. Oh my goodness. I've lost count how many there are now. There's a black and white one here too. Oh, that's a really short one. You sure are pretty. Yes, you are. You're very pretty. And you're pretty too. I think there was 7 of them right there. My goodness. 8 yesterday, 7 today, all in one spot. Beautiful. A lot of rocks on this descent. Doesn't really make for a quick descent, especially when it's raining and wet. That made a lot of sense, when it's raining and wet, because sometimes it's raining and it makes it dry. Oh, I need some town food, I think. I'm thinking cheeseburgers, chili, pizza, burritos, nachos, a good home-cooked meal, some Mountain Dew, some coffee, some water, of course, some, oh my goodness, so many other things. Maybe some barbecue. The things you start thinking about when you're going into town and you're losing about 4,000 calories a day. You can't stop thinking about all the potential things you might be able to eat, but yet still conserve money, which means it's not always the best food, unless you can find a nice mom and pop diner, because they're usually quite reasonable. But we shall see what Marion has to offer. All I know is I'm going to eat real soon. It's raining pretty good out here. Not like a monsoon or anything, but it's definitely coming down more than a drizzle. So it's definitely later than what it was supposed to rain. The last time I seen it was supposed to stop around 9 or so. So I'm glad I'm getting off a little early going drying out and eating some food today. Because the next couple days are supposed to be pretty nice and in the 70s. So some big miles on those days, but I'm glad I'm gonna taking a little break here for the rest of today. Take care of the things I need to take care of and get dry. I'm glad there's nobody walking behind me today, because my farts are deadly. So I'm hearing the traffic on the road that I'm getting off on to go to town, where my shuttle driver's meeting me. I'm about 7 minutes early right now. By the time I get there, it'll be about 5 minutes early. See if he's already there. He might be. But when you start hearing that traffic, all those thoughts of food start rushing in. Everything you thought about rushes in, like it's almost time. Woo!